Hi Stampers, thank you for joining me on Technique Tuesday. Today's technique is going to be using watercolor pencils and the Aqua Painter. And we're going to create this card with it. We're going to be using the Aqua Painter and the watercolor pencils on the 3 flowers. To get started, I'm going to use white cardstock, and I'm just going to use Melon Mambo ink, and I'm going to stamp 3 flowers. And I'm going to just stamp them in the corners here, just to make punching them out a little bit easier. And I'm going to do 2 of one flower and 1 of the other, and then while I'm at it I will stamp the greeting that I'm going to use as well. The greeting is from the Designer Tea, which is a celebration set for 2017, and it's free. If you spend $60 Canadian, you can pick anything from the celebration catalog. The flowers that we used are actually from the regular catalog and called Flower Shop. Alright, so to start, I'm going to use one of the watercolor pencils, and I'm going to use the Melon Mambo one. So I've already my stamped images, and I'm just going to kind of follow the lines that are already stamped in there. I'm just going to make some dark lines. Okay, then I will do the second one. Add some in the middle, and then for this one, it's not an exact science. If you look very closely, you'll see that I'm not trying to color inside the lines. I'm just trying to use the pencils to give me some dark, because I'm going to pick up the pencil with the Aqua Painter. Okay, so this is your Aqua Painter, and then I've just got water in the tube. Now I'm not going to press on it. I've already got a little bit of water in there. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to use it like a paintbrush. I'm not going to squeeze it. I'm just going to run it over. And all it's doing is it's picking up the color that I've already put on there. Now I'll bring that in a little bit closer so you can see. So I'll just keep going around. If the brush becomes dry, you can squeeze the bulb of the Aqua Painter and a little bit of water, but if you do squeeze it, make sure you squeeze it off on the paper, just so that you don't have any puddling. So I want to show you, just the more that you go over your pencil coloring, the more faded the dark line becomes, and then that just gets drawn into the rest of your flower. If you want to keep the dark lines in there, then you can just use your pencil, and you can just use your Aqua Painter to go over top of your pencil like that. That picks up the color, and then it transfers it to your paper should you want to be darker. Okay, and then we'll do that same for the next flower. You see, there's no science to this. You don't have to be precise. I like to just kind of color the whole thing, and then when I'm done, have a look at it and touch up wherever I feel it needs to be touched up. I'm gonna add, I just want a little bit darker, so I'm gonna just kind of run the pencil over again. And then I'll use the Aqua Painter to take it out. Okay. Okay. And then do the third one. Go over top to pick up the color. Any imperfections you have when you colored with the pencil will be smoothed out with your Aqua Painter. Need just a little bit more on there, so I'm just going to, again, I can do it this way, or I can just use the pencil right on the paper. Okay, that's all there is to it. Then I'm going to use the punch to punch out the flowers. Two. And then I'm just going to use my circle punch to punch out the greeting. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my Whisper White cardstock that I folded, the Milan Mambo that I used the brick wall embossing folder on, and I'm going to run some tape on the back of it. Center it onto the front of the card. Then I'm using the paper doilies from Stampin' Up. They're called Delicate White Doilies. So I'm going to use just one of those and put some tape. I'm just putting tape on the center. Position it right about there. Okay, so I use a punch to punch out a circle. I'm going to use dimensionals to pop that up. Okay. Make sure that the embossed design is going the same way as it is on the background. And then I'm going to use a dimensional to pop up one of my flowers. Put it anywhere. Then I'll just use tape to put on the back of the flowers, and then just position it there. Okay, and then I'm going to use another dimensional to pop up the greeting that I punched out. Okay, and then just to spice it up a little bit, I'm going to use some of the basic pearls. I'm going to use a couple different sizes. So I think for the center one, I use a big one. And then for the side ones, I'll use these ones. Now these ones here are all kind of laced together. So I just cut in between to make it easier, because all I do is I just use the scissors to pull it off. The glue is still attached to your pearls, so they will stick nicely to your cardstock. If this one's got two, that's okay. If ever you find that they're not sticking the way you want them, then I just use Crystal Effects. Crystal Effects dries clear, and it's a nice glue. Like so. And then I'm going to add just these teeny ones. These 3 of them. There you go. How simple is that? If you don't have the watercolor pencils, what you can do is you can use your re-inkers that you have. So just use any color re-inker and put a little dab on a tile or a piece of wax paper or anything that you have that won't soak it up, so don't put it straight on paper, and then you can just use your Aqua Painter and watercolor away with that as well. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.